Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's rant is going to be about credit cards and how I feel like credit cards aren't worth it, People always tell you, like, oh, you don't have a credit card? When they figure out I don't have a credit card. Oh, you need a credit card. Adults have credit cards. When I never understood the concept of a credit card because a credit card is money that you spend that you do not own, It's a lump sum of money that you borrow and, you claim that you can pay back the money that you're borrowing, but sometimes people spend what they don't have, Sometimes people go over and they make payments that they don't have, they buy stuff and then they realize they don't have enough money to pay for it all. And this is going to be a similar rant that I made to, the student loan debt thing. But, I would rather spend money that I have available, I'd rather go into my bank account, see I have the money, see money that I can afford, Say something costs $200 and I have $200 available in my bank account. That's money that I actually have, money that I actually own, that I can afford to pay for something. I know that I have enough money to afford to pay for it. But with credit cards, you're borrowing money that you do not have. You're saying, yes, I'll have that money at the end of the month and I'll be able to pay it back, not knowing if you're going to have that money, because things happen, Sometimes you come up short. Let's say something happens and you got fired and you didn't get your paycheck in time and stuff. Like, stuff can happen, And, borrowing something, like borrowing money in general is a very bad idea. And I would not advise anyone that's listening to this to ever borrow any type of money, because you don't know how much trouble you can get yourself into when you borrow money. You don't know how much money, you're borrowing sometimes. You can think to yourself, oh, it's just $5,000. What's the big deal? But then, sometimes with credit card debt, it grows and grows and grows, You think, oh, it's just $1,000, no big deal. I'll pay it back eventually. And it comes and it just goes for borrowing money in general. But credit cards are they're a big part of that. That's why this rant's about credit cards. And a lot of people just don't see how much of a trap credit cards are. It's a debt trap, just like I've talked about college debt. But, debit cards are far more superior. It's actually money you're spending that you have. And it's not saying, hey, look, I'll pay you back. I have the money. Can I borrow some? Borrowing something is very, very risky. Like I said, especially when you don't know if you're going to have it or not, It's nice to think that we can pay back people and stuff, but it's not a good thing to have something held over your head, to feel like you owe somebody, if that's a bank, if that's an individual. But obviously, this is just my opinion, and I know that not everyone's going to agree on what I think about this. Some people have no problems with credit cards. They spend credit cards, and they have no problems with credit cards, and they do good, and they never had an issue with them. I'm just talking about my opinion, because I've never actually owned a credit card, and I never owned one for that reason. I don't want to owe anyone money. So that's my view on credit cards. Like, again, I know not everyone's going to agree, but that's how I feel about it. And, like I said, if it's worked out for you, if you feel like credit cards have done you well and everything's great with them, then good for you, man. Do it works for you. And if it's made you happy, God bless you, but I'm just giving my opinion on this. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Thank you for listening again.